Hello there and welcome to Sister Sister, your all-female relationship talk show. It's another week and I'm totally thrilled to come your way once again on your favorite station, 97.3 City FM and of course City TV. We are live across sub-Saharan Africa on DSTV channel 363. We're also on GoTV channel 182, so thank you so much for tuning in. Now, remember the show is brought to you by Vodafone, Together We Can, Onga, Mama's Helping Hand, Geisha, African Strength, and Kel's Kids Toothpaste, it's really delicious toothpaste. The kids love it, So yeah, happy smiles is what it gives you. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, I'll be jumping into our conversations for today. My sisters join me as well, and we're going to be having a good time, so don't go anywhere. And you're welcome back, Sister Sister on City TV and City FM. Okay, so remember there are various ways that you can be part of this conversation. So even before I jump into the messages, just know this. You can send a quick email to jessica@cityfmonline.com. You can send a WhatsApp to 054-998-6996. Prefix it with a country code if you're messaging us from outside Ghana. And that would be +233. Alternatively, you can find us on Facebook at Sister Sister Live. Like our page, join the interactions on our page as well, or just send us a DM if you have a message. You can use that platform as well. Okay, so now that you know how you can be part of a conversation, let me say hello to my sisters in studio. Now we have Sandria to my right, and guess who? Rosina to my left. Too many people have been asking me about you, Rosie.
I know.
Where have you been?
I just took a little break.
Yeah.
You had to sort out a few issues here and there. My health also, so I had to take a little break. But
Great.
I'm fine.
Good to know.
Good.
You look radiant.
I know. Thank you very much.
And of course, Dria's here, wearing my favorite outfit. I so hate you right now.
Like this outfit that
Yeah,
she's
like
wearing.
she has different colors of this. Yeah,
It's
beautiful.
comfortable.
Maybe we bought it for her.
Yeah, we bought it for her. Now she wants to buy some for us.
I'll buy you some. I have to thank Sika Clothing for it, but I'll buy you some.
Sika Clothing.
Maybe
She has to link us up.
She will.
Yes.
I promise you. Praise
Yeah.
Labe, you're listening. Link her up.
Claudia's also joined us all the way from Berlin. What's going on, girlfriend? I see you have a new haircut today.
Yeah, it's been a long day here, but I managed to get haircuts at the end of the working day. So yeah, tired, but it's worth it.
Nice. Okay, super. Good to see you. You're looking well as well.
Nice to meet you again.
Yeah. Alrighty. So listen, let's jump in. If I remember, like 2 weeks ago, you got a hamper from Geisha and Lux, right? How's that going for you?
I
You tried
loved
them?
the smell. Oh, yes, absolutely. I think I've almost run out, so I want more.
Oh, how?
Oh, dear,
In 2
I'm
weeks.
coming. I'll explain. I'll explain.
Okay.
I loved the smell of the Lux. And I loved how the black soap feels on my skin. And so I didn't use it alone.
Oh,
because
you
it was so good. I
shared.
shared it.
Aren't
So
you,
now I
darling?
want more.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
But you know where to, they send
oh,
it,
liver
right? You just
twist.
go and buy it.
Okay.
That's your first one.
Mentor.
Second
I'll
one.
buy. You'll buy. It's
Yeah.
okay.
What's the sad face for?
I didn't get some.
You were not here.
You weren't here. What do you expect? Okay. You know we can't actually leave you out of this. So, package. No, don't give her any. She had a whole pack to herself.
Oh,
So
that's
there
so,
you have it.
lovely. I thought I was forgotten.
No, we will never forget about
Aw.
you. Geisha, moringa soap, black soap,
Oh, that's lovely. Should have seen the way I was sulking behind the table.
when you were watching us.
Yeah,
enjoy
I'm like,
on
wow,
the
I
show,
sent you a message. I'm like, where's mine?
I feel you. There
You give me
yours
some.
is. There yours is.
It depends.
I'll be nice.
Okay.
So thank you to our sponsors. And oh, by the way, congratulations to our winner for the promotion that we run on the show last week. Congratulations. And I hope you enjoy your hamper as well. Okay, so now that we've got all this out of the way, we will jump right into the show and start getting into your messages. Maybe you can put this back down and out of the way. Okay. So this message says, "Hello sisters, I hope this email finds you well. I hope I get the advice I'm looking for. I'm 22 years old and I met a man 6 years ago. He was not married at the time, but was courting his wife. They got married 7 months ago. Now this man is 13 years older than me, but we've had a good relationship since that day that we met, and we've been out on dates as well. He's currently taking care of my tertiary education. Jess, my only problem now is he's begun to make statements like, why won't I take care of my second wife and all? I think I like him too, but he's married and I cannot break his home. If I cease communication with him, however, I might not be able to achieve my dreams of graduating and helping my younger siblings through school. Mind you, he hasn't tried to be sexual. We just kissed one time, and even that was a mistake. I'm confused. Please help. What should I do? Should I become his second wife as he wants? He married his wife under ordinance, so I will become an illegitimate wife. All right, so there we have it. I think today we'll fly out to Berlin for the very first comments on the show today. Claudia, what do you think about this whole situation?
A bit messy, but is she not making assumptions? Because I think she's making assumptions, and the two of them are not talking. And I feel she's afraid to have that difficult conversation because she believes it might end the financial support that she's getting. But maybe I'm underestimating the impact of what he said, but I think he's probably joking. That's how I see it. People say that all the time. Oh, I'll marry you, you're my wife. Growing up, it was quite common. But if she really wants to get to the bottom of it, she has to have that conversation, like put him on the spot. The next time he says that, you can also jokingly say, do you mean it or are you joking? But then I'm thinking, is she ready for that difficult conversation? There's also that bit of she knowingly knowing that the guy likes her and then taking the money, but then he's not said anything yet. So for me, it's murky, and if she really wants to get to the bottom of it, she can have that conversation. But I believe he's not said anything to you. And I'm taking your text on the face of it where you say there's no romantic undertones, but then you kissed. So it's complicated. She really knows what is going on. She knows the guy likes her. She knows she likes him, but then he's married and he's not going to leave his wife. And you also don't want to be an illegitimate wife as well. So it's difficult, but at the end of the day, it depends on her and her conscience. Do you want to have that difficult conversation which will lead to the end of you getting the support? Or you want to assume he's not said anything, so then you start protecting yourself from your side, where from your side you make sure that whatever led to you kissing doesn't happen again, or whatever you are doing that you think is, maybe you're also giving him some vibes, you're not aware, but because you like him, unknowingly you're also giving him signs that you like it. So it's, the two of them need to talk. For me, if she's trying to have a clear conscience, she's trying to be this good person, she can start that difficult conversation, which might lead to the end of her funding, or she might start protecting herself from her side, being very cautious and very about how she interacts with this man. Because sometimes as a girl, if you know a guy likes you, there are ways of killing the vibe from your side. And it all depends on you reading the room well and knowing how to relate to him so that conversation doesn't happen and then you don't lose your funding, and then you can plausibly say, I didn't know. But then the moment you have that conversation, you know that it's going to end. So it's a tough decision that she has to make herself. Yeah.
Okay. Julia, what do you think?
Okay. I think she's putting the cart before the horse. Yes, he has passed one comment, why wouldn't I look after my second wife? But he hasn't asked her to be his second wife. It's been 6 years. He's been looking after her for 6 years. I feel as if he had amorous intentions, 6 years is a pretty long time for that to come out, you know? So in order for her to not jinx it, I would say, let things be. He has made this statement once, twice. But once a person hasn't openly verbalized their want of you, okay, you're going to ask him this and say, I don't even know what you call him, but yeah, Kofi Kwame, whatever it is. So you've been saying Uncle Kofi, exactly. Uncle Kofi. So you've been saying, why won't I look after my second wife? If he's been saying it in jest, she can be pushing his mind where it's not.
Right.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Why rock the boat? I think that once he hasn't specifically said, I want you to be my second wife, it's been 6 years. If he wanted you to be his second wife, I'm sure like by now, it won't be just one kiss that you're calling a mistake. Because I'm sure the two of you agreed that was a mistake. That's why it hasn't happened again. I think she's jumping the gun. Let things be. Don't rock the boat. Sometimes we like that. We like to stir trouble where there's no trouble. He's made a few comments in, wait, when he actually says, I want to marry you, then we'll jump that gun. When we get there though, like Claudia was saying, it really is up to you and him. If you want to be an illegitimate second wife, then you need to know what the implications are. And if it's not what you want to do, then you can, very quickly say, Uncle Kofi, please, I didn't think that this was where this was going. So I want to back out. But for now, if you go and stir the pot, indeed, if he says, yes, I want to become your second wife, here you are asking us what to do. You don't know if it's what you want. But she doesn't want to be a second wife.
She's considering it. That's why she wrote to us. She says she's confused. What should I become a second wife?
If it's what you want to do. Really, if you know what the implications of being a second wife are, and it is what you want to do, then sure, do that. For me though, in this particular moment, you're putting the carts before the horse. No man has proposed to you, Auntie. Uncle Kofi hasn't said be my wife. So be calming down.
I would say.
She's come to marry. No, I come to marry. Be calming down,
to me.
Oh dear. The first thing that jumped at me is that she's 22.
Yes.
6 years ago, she was 16.
Wow.
So which means that at the age of 16, the one who was looking, I'm sure the guy just says, oh, my girl knew, my little girl knew, my girl knew. Because that statement that you're in a relationship. How can you be in a relationship with a man for 6 years? And within that 6 years, the man has gotten married to somebody else. And you are still keeping what you are calling a relationship. How did he bypass your relationship to go and marry somebody else?
Right.
And what energy did he have to marry somebody else? And your relationship was not affected. So what were the dynamics? I think that there are some women, when you are young, like when you are so young, you think that to show gratitude for, especially an elderly man or an elderly man helping you out, the way to show some form of gratitude is to give the man some form of a relationship, or to give the man some form of sex, or to give the man, like to make yourself available for him, to show some form of appreciation. However, what I want to tell her is that she's now going to tertiary, right? There's a big difference between the guys in secondary school and the men you meet in tertiary. That's just on the side. When she gets to level 100, but then she gets level 200, she'll start seeing things that she likes.
She's actually in tertiary.
She's in tertiary. Yes. Okay, so by the time she finishes, she might see other specs that are for her, that would want her for who she is and would want to actually make a life with her. This man has not told you. Look, see, sometimes some elderly men may call you a second wife because they feel responsible towards you. And it's an unjust statement. Oh, right. My second wife, my young wife. It's just to say that, oh, they've decided to be responsible for you. So they use that word loosely. And here you are, because you are young and naive, you've put the whole weight of the world onto that statement. And then you are giving yourself unnecessary pressure. In that case, you see, a man who has gotten a woman from 16, I'm sure from 16, if he's looking after you, you're probably still living a virgin or something. He's gotten you to kiss you. Think you would have ended there. He would have attempted to move ahead because he's gotten you and he really wants you. But for 6 years, he's never attempted to be intimate with you. You've not had this conversation about being intimate. Even when you slipped, both of you identified it as a mistake. Right. So all in all, I think that the lady is putting too much weight on the man's comments. And like everybody is saying, the moment you open the conversation, just in case those are his intentions, Now, you now have the weight of either accepting or not accepting. But the best way to keep your funding coming and still have room to cut your own path, as in get your own man that you marry, is to play dumb. The way he casually said it, you to casually unhear it. And then, yeah, casually unhear it and then move on with your life.
Looking.
Yeah.
They say you
just
should do
unlooking.
unlooking.
Miracle to hey, that's it. And then we move. You know, if he really wants to get married to you, then you can now start spelling to him the consequences of, you know, he's married another ordinance. If he had in mind to take a second wife, he wouldn't have married another ordinance. He would have done the traditional and give me the woman 1,000,001 excuses so that he can add one to it. But once he's perfected it there, it means he had no intentions, especially because you were there before he was doing it.
Right.
So
Right, exactly. So young lady, I mean, I'll just add my voice here. You know, you're only 22, you're still going through school. Just focus. And trust me, there is a man out there for you. You don't have to be anyone's second choice. I'm just saying. All right. So we'll bring in some messages. Mark says, you can't spend his money and walk away. Think twice. You girls are the reason some men kill. If you won't marry him, let him know from today.
but the man is married.
Okay.
No, I come small.
I overconf, but yeah, let's go on.
We move. Yakubu says, this is like a Muslim eating soup prepared with pork while saying he dislikes pork. You need him, but you can't have him. Why? Papa says, do you want to be a second wife? Life is full of choices. You didn't say anything about work. Why don't you work to support yourself and your education? Khadija says, ask him to make his intentions clear to you. If he wants marriage, you can believe and you believe you can't cope, let him know. If you can cope, that's up to you. A flimsy statement of, let me take care of my second wife doesn't hold much weight. He can say that just to have his way with you and drop you off when he gets enough of you. Now look for a side hustle and stop folding your arms for manna to rain on you from your fellow woman's husband's pocket. It's not fair.
Hey,
Be calming down.
Kojo says, my sister, learn to say thank you with your mouth when a man decides to help you. Learning to thank a man with marriage is a disaster. Whatever you do, you will be an enemy or rival to his wife, and that will create a broken home. My sister, just continue to enjoy the benefits. He knows better than to destroy his home because of you. And finally, Kwashi says, so is it friends with benefit or what? We sometimes think when we get intimate, as in have sex with people, that it's the only time we're breaking their homes. You met him 7 years ago when he was courting and you still let him on. He has supported you and you've been at the receiving end. You're benefiting now, so you see nothing wrong with it. But think of it this way. Will you be happy if you were the one in the shoes of his wife? Make your choice and be ready for the outcome. Those are a couple of your messages.
Today the comments have confused me.
No, people can't help people anymore.
Yeah.
Unless it involves eating.
Yeah.
And the piece I meet you,
We'll go for a quick break. We'll be right back. And you're welcome back, Sister on City TV and City FM. Remember our WhatsApp number, 054-998-6996. Another message comes through and it says, hello, sisters. My parents and I have lived peacefully until I realized a certain behavior from my stepmother. Anytime my stepmom sees me or my dad chatting with someone, she gets annoyed with the reason that we're talking about her. Apparently, this has been going on for a long while. Anytime my dad's relatives or friends come around, she gets annoyed. She always assumes when 2 or more people are gathered, it's about her. Because of this, there's no peace at home. My dad doesn't return from work as early as he used to, and I later found out that my dad was dating another lady. I found out who she was and gave her a strong warning. I don't want my dad to know that I have an idea about his moves. I also don't want my stepmom or anyone to know of it. I just want to solve it without creating any problems. I really don't want my dad's marriage to collapse. So please help me. Drea, help him, okay?
Is it a him or a he?
Well,
we don't know.
We're not sure, yes.
The stepmother is amusing me. What narcissistic behavior is that? People can't talk. Hey.
People are not people, okay?
So we can't converse.
Yes.
Father and child can't converse. It's about you.
It's about me.
What is it that you do that makes you think people are talking about you?
That's the question.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. But that's not the writer's issue. The writer's issue is how to solve the cheating father and not end
The marriage.
The marriage.
Yeah.
Charlie. Confront your dad. Yeah. Okay. So before a person becomes suspicious, okay, because I'm sure that the stepmother wasn't like this all along. Something must have triggered her suspicion of people are talking about me. Unless she's narcissistic. Narcissistic behavior leans towards everybody's talking about me because I'm the most important person. Unless she's narcissistic. But if that's not the case, then something must have triggered. She must have realized that they gathered to speak about her at certain points. So she's uncomfortable. So you need to figure out why that is. But ultimately, she is your father's wife. And you have caught your father out in a discrepancy. For all you know, his wife knows about these discrepancies. And she probably thinks you're in on it. Which is possible. Look, when I was much younger, my mom and dad were not together. But I know for a fact that my dad used to take me to his girlfriend's homes and send me to call them for him. Yes. My father is a suspicious character. Please, allow. Anyhow, if he and my mom were still together, or if she was my stepmom, I was in on it. So she'd have issues with me. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's possible that that's a trigger. It's possible that the stepmother thinks that, because you're obviously old enough to give warnings. So it's very likely that she thinks, oh, father and child have ganged up and they are doing whatever it is. And it's become like a vicious cycle where, yeah, she'll continue to get upset and and then obviously in her fight, then the daddy doesn't want to come home. I think she confront your father because he's the what's the word? He's the protagonist in this story. He's the reason everything is happening. Speak to him, tell him, Dad, look, I know that you're doing this. Do you realize that stepmom is doing this, and this? Do you think that it's possible it's because of this behavior, blah, blah, blah? I think the best person to speak to in this situation is the father. Confront him. Tell him, I know what you're doing, and this is what it could lead to. And I don't want that.
How easy is it to confront a Ghanaian dad, though? Just saying.
Hey.
I mean, I don't expect an answer.
No, thank you. I don't plan to answer. I have no plans.
Charlie will slap you. Anyway.
I'll show you some show.
Yeah. Rosina, but what do you think? Best way to approach this?
You see, like Drea mentioned, most of the time, before a woman starts getting suspicious or starts behaving funny, most of the time she has her eyes or her ears set on something, so she knows something. And most of the time when you see, as a stepmother or as a stepdad, you think that you're coming in as the third party, the other person. So already there's
your antennae are up.
Yeah, you're already like, you're trying best to let your adopted children or your now children see you like an actual parent, and you are trying to do the best for them. And sometimes your best is not enough, both ways, So it gets a bit funny. Now, in situations where, let's say, for want of a better word, let's say me and my dad, well, we all speak Ewe. Let's say the new woman, let's say, speaks Ghana, doesn't understand Ewe. Then, smallest time on, then me and my dad are doing our own dialects, even though it's normal. The fact that you don't understand, it gives room for suspicion.
Of course.
Like, what are they talking about? I mean, is it about me? Is it not about me? And sometimes when you see that maybe you and your dad are having this fantastic, like you're laughing, you're bursting out, and then when it comes to her, it's about, oh, is the food ready? Oh, how's everything? It creates this, like,
separation,
yeah, this kind of like, so she feels not really a part. Maybe what she really wants to do is to be a part of conversations that go on. So when things are going on between father and child, she's thinking that, look, I'm now part of the family. I'm your mother, quote unquote, and I would want to be involved. But what she needs to learn is that process doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. So you can't just marry a man and overnight become your stepchildren's parent all in one. It's a process. It takes time. There are times where your stepchildren will lash at you. There are times where they would annoy you. But over time, you get to bond as you're supposed to bond. Clearly, this child really loves the stepmother. The fact that he or she has a problem with the dad cheating with somebody else clearly
You go
shows
to
that.
one is if.
And for me, even though it's difficult to warn a Ghanaian dad, the fact that you had the nerve to go and warn the
his
other,
girl.
his girl, no, means that you can talk to
You
your
can't
father.
talk to your father.
To go and warn the other girl, you can talk to your father. And I think that the way you can, because I'm getting the sense that the child and the father are very cool. You may not even necessarily have to mention the other woman at first. You may just like, Daddy, you know what? I think Mommy needs a bit more of your attention. You don't come home early these days. I think we should spend some family time out, maybe go out, hang out, try and foster that kind of bond between you, your dad, and your stepmom. And then as time goes on, you can catch your dad on one side and tell your dad that, well, I know about this other person. And you see, given the opportunity, Mommy can be very nice. So we don't do this to our family, you know. I've just gotten used to her. I'm now loving her. I'm now getting to know her as a mother. And I wouldn't want you to break up your marriage again because it makes me destabilized. So when you have that tete-a-tete with your dad, it's not like going to warn your dad like you did the other woman. It's about trying to bring your dad's mind home. Appeal to his conscience so that he does the right thing. I think over time it would heal itself. And also, even though you love your stepmom, make an effort at letting her know that you love her by also spending time with her. Chatting with her, hanging out with her. If there's a movie she likes, you may not like movies, but just because of her, sit with her. Hey, Mommy, what's going on? But this thing that you have been watching, strike a conversation, so she feels like you are part. I mean, she is part of the family, and I think once that is in order, things will fall in place. But it's okay. It's normal for a stepmom to feel sometimes alienated in that kind of a situation because, Charlie, they've bonded for years. You are now coming in. It takes a while to bond.
Right.
Yeah.
Claudia, I'll let you weigh in on this one as well.
My first question is, why does she think it's her problem to solve?
Because she doesn't want a broken home again.
Again, he or she has been through it. He doesn't want another one.
I come from a very different perspective on this. I feel back in school we had something that we said Puskaya.
Say what?
Puskaya, no pay.
You go looking for problems to solve. So with the stepmom's issue, I kind of empathize with her a bit. And sometimes in the text, it is what is unsaid that gives more information about what has been said. So this is a woman who doesn't get along with anybody, not the relatives, not the friends, and not you in the house. So two things, whether she's socially awkward, she's narcissistic, as Yara said, or she has her own self-esteem issues, or your dad might have done something at some point in the relationship to make her feel unsure of herself. Because if friends come around and you are annoyed, what about people coming into your home annoys you? Is it that they come and encroach in your space, or your partner is hanging out with a crowd that you think is bad for him? But then again, this is something that is beyond, I have a feeling it's a she, because this is something that is beyond her. She's caught between two people who are not communicating. So realistically, if she wants to intervene, like Rosina said, is to buddy the stepmom and try to allay her fears. That might work. That might backfire. Talking to your dad. And what actually got me thinking was, why don't you want your dad to know that you know what he's doing? Do you think he's going to compromise your relationship? Do you think he thinks you're going to lose respect for him? So you want to fix a situation where you have very little information. You are not ready to talk to the parties involved, and you are going out of your way to risk yourself to the point of warning third parties. Okay. And sometimes when some of these things happen, we focus on the easy targets. So he's focusing on this side chick when the actual problem is in the house. And that's what I'm thinking it's too complicated and messy for her to get involved. Even if you go and tell your dad that I know, what's going to change? And somehow I feel the stepmom started, and this is an assumption, might have started behaving the way she's behaving because your dad probably started cheating before she changed. And even if she changed after your dad started cheating, how are you going to solve this problem? Are you going to find a third party maybe their pastor or a family member who both parties respect, so that you get him to mediate? How do you even get this person to intervene when both parties have not opened up to him? So for me, it's complicated. And if it was me, I'll mind my business, because this is too much a burden for you to sort of like mess yourself up in it.
I'll say, you know, I feel like it's not
her place.
Yeah, it's not her problem to solve. Not necessarily her place, because whatever happens sort of affects her too. She's part of the family, but I feel like it's not your problem to solve. It's a heavy burden to just put on yourself. Like, you're trying to maintain, I don't want stepmom to know, I don't want dad to know, I want this, marriage to work. I'm warning the outside. It's just like, it's a lot. It's a lot. You understand? Plus, it concerns two adults here, and I'm sure they know exactly what they've been through. Reason why they're even here in the first place. Because, like Rosina said, I don't think she'll just get up like this. Stepmom will just get up and start acting paranoid. Are people talking? There must be something you do not know.
Something triggered.
Exactly. So I think maybe I'm thinking if I was in that situation, possibly I'd talk to my dad.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll just say to him that, look, Dad, I'm aware this is going on. If you guys have issues, I think you should solve it, because what's currently happening is only going to blow up in your face.
Exactly.
And I'll leave it there. It's not about, I don't want this person to know. No, Charlie. Nobody's
but it's okay for the child to be concerned, because you see,
absolutely,
most of the time, especially us as Africans, we feel like we feel like the adults in the marriage are the only decision makers, or the only people that issues affect when there are issues. I mean, the children also matter. Elsewhere, when the women are even pregnant and going to have another baby, they run it by their kids. Oh, as soon as another child is coming in, your little brother, your baby sister,
you see your
over here, Charlie, you see, no, your mother is swelling, and what is it? So plenty Gary, and the next thing you know, is in the house. I mean, so sometimes it's like that thing where you put children in a space of, you know what, it is our marriage and you have no say. Because most of the time when marriages are good, you see it in the children. When it goes bad, the effects are felt in the children also. So they have a say. And it's okay if he's talking about his stepmom and not wanting the stepmom and the father to break up. I'm imagining what happened in the first, like between his mother and his father.
Maybe she's even passed.
It's two things. That maybe she's passed and he's taking time to bond with the second one. He doesn't want to break up again and go start. You see, to detach yourself from somebody or to accept somebody else in place of somebody you love, it's a process, especially your mother. It's a whole process. So after but after accepting somebody else in that capacity, it's very difficult to now detach again and go and accept somebody else. And the fact that somebody else has come into the picture, the son or the daughter is probably having fears that, okay, this could break up again, another person could come, I have to go through the whole trauma of having to know somebody else. So yes, it's not your problem to solve, but it's understandable that they're concerned. And that's why I'm not going to say keep warning the other person, but I'm going to say that, look, you know what, have that conversation with your dad. Be real with him. Like, if you can cross lines and go and warn a third party, then your father is not too far out of reach. So just have that, conversation with your dad. Not in the beginning, like, stop there. No. Start with your stepmom. Look, my stepmom is unhappy. It would be nice if you come home. Let's bond more often. And I want to bond with both of you. You are my parents now. Stuff like that.
Cool. Well said. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, more of your messages. Don't go anywhere. And you're welcome back to Sister Sister. Remember, our WhatsApp number is 0549986996. Let's hear your thoughts on any of the messages that we've received here tonight. You can also tweet at us. Our hashtag is Sister Sister LIVE, Sister Sister Live. On social media, it'll catch our attention. Okay, so another message here says, hello sisters, I need your help before I go mad. There's this lady I'm dating. When we started the relationship, she told me there was no man in her life. Why? Something? 4 months.
The way you said we started the relationship.
It continues to say, after some time, I found out she was dating a 57-year-old man.
Oh, you are?
She's just 19 years old. And the man is married. Now, each time I try to discourage her from continuing this relationship, she gets very upset. She also disrespects me at the least chance. I always try my best to make her happy. She ended things with him for some months, but they're back together again. I don't know what to do. Why is she treating me this way? Why does she prefer to date an old man instead of me? Sisters, please help. Old man sense.
It's about the quadges, man.
The quadges. The cash. I mean,
It's about the
cash. Yeah.
Was his question, why is she treating him this way?
Yes.
You see, and that's the reason why she's treating you this way. You see, the girl is 19. She feels she's in the prime of her life. She probably doesn't have any pimples on her face. She's pretty. She's young, you know. And this man is probably showering her with small gifts. Because at 19, Charlie, your idea of pampering, some small phone, some small money, pizza here and there, Charlie, you are sorted. You think you have some crazy sugar daddy, you know what I mean? So at that age, Charlie, she's feeling pampered, you know, all very, and here you are demanding of her chastity, loyalty, and all manner of, you're in a relationship, putting her in the box. You see, at 19, very few women are mentally mature to have a correct relationship, like committed, loyal relationship. And because I think you're giving her the vibe, like, oh, why are you doing this to me? You should be with me, you should be with me. So you're coming off as very needy, and it's like someone who would suffer when she tells you to leave her. Like, you can't survive. Once you know that you can't handle this, you can't handle a lady who is seeing a 57-year-old man, and you don't like it because, of course, a 57-year-old man seeing a 19-year-old, trust me, they are probably sexual. If it's something that you can't handle, why don't you leave her now? Because I keep saying, look, relationships is the solid ground for breakup. In a relationship, when things are not happening well, it's very easy. Charlie, take your left, let me take my right. When you start getting committed, when you start getting married, when children start coming in, breakup, apart from all the psychological, mental, and all those issues, it's expensive.
To break up.
To break up.
That's
You could pay a
right.
lawyer, to pay lots of tens of thousands of CDs just because you said, I don't like you again. So you see, at this stage, protect your heart, protect your money, protect your mind. If this has started now, it's not going to end now. And you saying that she should end it doesn't mean she would end it. This is what she chooses for herself. Since you are the one who is sending in the message, I don't want to even focus on the lady. This you can't handle. You're already, why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? You're already a psychological issue. So please step out, build yourself up, have your own self-esteem, your self-worth, so you can find a woman who will treat you like their man and give you that respect. Then you too, you treat that person too like your woman and give her that respect. But this one is clearly not for her. She's not at that stage to have a committed relationship. She's not.
Yeah, she's enjoying the pizza too much.
Yeah.
Dear.
Okay.
But also, dear.
His questions were then,
Two questions. Why is she treating me this way?
because she does not love you.
Period.
Why does she prefer to date this old man rather than me?
Because he offers things that you do not and cannot and never will, because you are not 59,
57.
57. Say, when I was younger, there was something called Mr. Odi and Mr. Otia. Mr. Odi was the servicer. Mr. Otia was the payer. Say, you are a Mr. Odi. Know thy place. And Mr. Odi cannot be asking the madam to be leaving the Mr. Otia if he is not prepared to step into the shoes
Of the Otia.
of the Mr. Otia. Say, can you tia? She's 19. Say, everything is standing upright, front and back, full plate, broad base.
Hey.
She's on point.
Yeah, man.
Do you understand?
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
she's a whole political party. You understand? Popular front, broad base. She's 19. She dey go, she dey come. You want her to come and settle with
And be washing your clothes.
Debbie. Say, and I'm not saying that it's right. I'm addressing you because these are your questions. She doesn't love you. She's choosing the money route. She's choosing the older route. Whatever her reasons are, The cards are on the table. The writing is on the wall. If she wanted to be with Kwame Ahe and play debi ye for it to ye, she would have left him. But obviously, she likes Abinwa. So she has taken her Abinwa. She move. You two move.
Okay. So you're saying she should move. Rosina.
He should move.
Sorry, he should move. Rosina's saying pretty much the same thing.
Pretty much the same thing.
All right.
Yes.
Claudia, what do you think? I mean, 57-year-old married man dating his 19-year-old girlfriend, if I can call, her that. What's going on here? What do you think?
Easy, actually. But I'm wondering, so the relationship started on a lie. She said she didn't have
Recording stopped.
Then you realized he had somebody. Because you are very forgiving and loving, you decided to keep her. Then you realized this lying again, and being the loving boyfriend that you are, and the peacemaker, the conflict resolver, you try to work things out, she gets upset. For me, that's beyond disrespectful. It's beyond disrespectful because she doesn't regard you. And I think the first question I should ask is, what does he want out of a relationship? Because ordinarily, we fall in love looking for things that we need. So you need security. You need that affection. There's that emotional attachment. There's that respect, that person who has your back. You are their ride or die. You don't get it, or there's the 80-20 rule. But in this case, I don't even think you're getting the 20 out of the 100. So what is keeping you there? One, she doesn't respect you, and she's competing with an older man. For me, it's not even about the age. It's about the act of infidelity, the blatant infidelity that she's doing. Or perhaps she's not monogamous and she's doing an open relationship without your consent. Because I really can't rationalize what is going on your behalf. But then it boils down to what you are getting from this broken relationship. It's broken, but you're still there. You still want to mend it. So you have to ask yourself, what is it that I have that I am afraid of losing? And then tackle it. But for me, this is a very toxic relationship, and it's only going to get worse. She's not going to leave this man. No. You might tie her down with marriage. She'll still continue doing it. And now she knows that and you're okay with it and you're not leaving. So there's no punishment for what she's doing. It's like she feels you are stuck. You don't have an out plan. You don't have anybody who loves you. So I'm just going to give you whatever I have. And you're still going to stay anyway. So you are getting nothing out of this. You are being disrespected. There's no security. There's no love. Maybe the sex is good. That's what is keeping you. You feel maybe if you leave, you might not get it. But you have to know that in this life, you get the love that you think you deserve. If you think she's what you deserve, you stay and you'll be unhappy for a very long time. But if you tell yourself, this is a loss I'm ready to lose, and then put myself out there for someone who puts in the same effort, someone who would love me, someone who treats me well, I am very sure. Because from the text that you've given us, you don't sound ordinary. Most men will leave after the first act, even after the lie. That would have been it. Because in Ghana, they always make it seem like all men cheat, but we can't take it when our women cheat because it's psychological. I can't imagine myself with you knowing that another man has been with you. But this is a guy who was still ready to stay. I don't know if it's some sort of Stockholm syndrome where he's stuck with his captor. But this is love, where it's a soft capture that he can't seem to disentangle himself from. It happens. Sometimes you meet someone, they are bad for you, but there's something hooking you to that person. You think if you leave, that's going to be the end of your life. But I think you should make that hard decision. It's not supposed to be a hard decision, but there's something hooking you. So you need to tell yourself, how do I safely and in a healthy manner detach myself from this toxic relationship, and then take time, heal, and put yourself out there again. Do what get someone. You definitely get someone.
Okay. I completely agree. Yeah.
I just wanted to add that we've
Go ahead.
sat on this show before and said, know your worth. We've also sat on this show and spoken about we allow what continues. So in answer to his question why she's doing that is because you're allowing it. The minute, and I'm glad Claudia touched on that, the minute you found out that she lied in the beginning and you took her back, was you allowing her to continue.
That's right.
So until you actually act, i.e. leave or take a certain action for her to recognize, and you see the only way you know if indeed she wants you and she loves you is if you actually take an act and say you're leaving, and that pushes her to leave him or not. I doubt it very much
Yeah, she will.
that she will leave him. I doubt it very, very much. But yes, you allow this to happen, and the longer you stay, the more it'll happen.
Absolutely. True. I mean, it's so obvious that this is not the girl for you. You know, Charlie, just move on. You can't compete. You cannot compete with that
Child, these days,
57-year-old
time no
man.
dey o.
Can she
who
send us a
seems
picture
to
of
have
the
it.
girl's face and his face? That could also be the problem.
Well, maybe. Maybe.
Just on a lighter note, though.
But yeah, Claudia.
And in situations like this, he might start blaming himself and think he's inadequate.
Yes.
No, but that's
Shouldn't
not
go
true.
on
But you're
that
not.
line.
Yes.
He's
That's
more than
not true.
enough.
Yes, he's more than
Yeah,
enough.
he's more than enough.
Absolutely.
He's just not giving it to the right person.
Yep.
So that's the issue. It's not him. It's
It has
her.
nothing to do with
It's her.
him. No.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, dear gentlemen, advise yourself. We'll move on to. I'll try and squeeze this last message in.
Okay.
Maybe I can give each of you 2 minutes to address this. You may not even need 2 minutes. You listen to it. So it says, "Hi sisters, my boyfriend likes oral sex too much. To be honest, my jaws hurt. Oh, I'm tired. It be. What at all is this? He keeps saying that that's his favorite type of sex. Help me.
Hey.
Claudia, help this woman. Eesh.
You see, the catchword here is moderation. You see, it's moderation. And I always say, if you're having sex with someone and you can't communicate what you like, don't like, what hurts you, then the sex is premised on a different, because I feel even in the moment of lovemaking, you should be able to say, this hurts, this is not good, I don't enjoy it. And your partner, though they enjoy it, must understand that. And that's why even in BDSM, you have a safe word. When it's getting out of hand, you say that safe word, and your partner sort of, no matter the height of passion or orgasm or whatever, they come back and immediately consider the need, because it's two people. Tell him it hurts. My goodness, tell him it hurts. Not that you want to do it, but you want to do it at a pace that you like, at a pace where it's safe for you, at a pace where, because although you are given, you should also enjoy what you are given. So he can't be enjoying at your expense. Tell him it hurts. Not that you don't want to do it. You want to do it, but it has to be safe, practical, and enjoyable to both of you. So it's not like it's rocket science and you're not communicating. He likes it. You want to do it. From the text, it's like you want to do it, but it's painful. Then perhaps read about it. Maybe your technique is not right. But in instances like this, I don't want people to blame themselves. I want the two of them have a conversation where they actually say, I'm doing it this way. I'm not enjoying it. It's painful for me. How can we fix it? And then you take it from there.
That's all. Rosina.
Does she also collect some?
And no,
We don't know
I
that.
want to see whether his teeth, he also complains of penny, his throat or his tongue penny. Anyways,
I think one is easier than the other.
So what I'll say is that, Charlie, you see, sex, it's a very powerful thing, and if you can't enjoy it, there's no point. Unless you are doing it for money, then it's business. Until say you are getting some, but if it's something that's supposed to be done in the intimacy of a relationship or a marriage, it should be enjoyed. So there should be room for communication, and both of you should be comfortable with what you are doing, and both of you should be willing to learn and meet each other halfway. That's what makes the sex enjoyable. Because when you are enjoying the oral sex and the lady is in pain, it's not a perfect situation.
True.
So you guys need to talk about it. And the thing is that the beauty about this is that he's your boyfriend. He's not your husband. And being your boyfriend, seriously, you see, like I said, it gives room. Because if as your boyfriend, you are giving, can I say giving? Okay, so you are doing oral, this thing, 7 days a week. Then after you are married, that he can't go anywhere, then you have to intensify it to keep him. If you know that you don't have a way of getting a jaw replacement or a jaw transplant to sort you out, before you start, because you might get some lockjaw syndrome at some point, where after all this show, now your jaw just locks and clamps. So if you know you can't keep up with this, don't lie to yourself because you think that he ticks the other boxes. So this particular one day, especially if he's not willing to adjust. And even they're willing to adjust, you have to be very careful. Because sometimes they may be willing to adjust with you, but they'll go and supplement it elsewhere. So if it's not something you can't keep up, you just need to take these hard decisions before it gets sticky in a marriage.
Right.
At least you know now than later.
Yeah. All right. Drea, the safe word?
Pineapple.
That's it.
Yeah, I love pineapples. What would you want to use pineapple for?
Okay, pineapple is the safe word, but
For you.
never mind who for. Pineapple is the safe word. Why are we doing this? Auntie,
Auntie is listening.
Auntie, please listen. What is too much? He says he likes head. He likes oral sex.
Yes.
Too much. What is too much? It's too much for you. It's become unbearable. Speak to him about it. I think we've made talking about sex taboo. Women are shy to say what they want, what's comfortable, what is not. It shouldn't be. Once you people are removing your clothes and looking at each other, there's nothing to be ashamed of. If your jaw hurts, you see, this is your boyfriend, nobody has got lockjaw on him before. But indeed, if you continue like this and one day, to fear
It's snappier.
now,
Finish.
it's over.
Future
It
generations.
is over. If you marry him, you won't get children.
If you don't marry him,
If you
he'll
don't marry
accuse
me, you understand where I'm going. Speak to him, communicate. You should be enjoying sex. Sex, ladies, sex is not a chore. Sex is not only for having children. You should enjoy the sex that you have. So one, if somebody is making you do things that you don't want to do, it means you're not enjoying it. Speak. If somebody is doing things to you that you're not enjoying, speak. Say, please, say, do it this way. Do it that way. Say, please, if I do it this way, it's painful. My jaw hurts. I don't want to bite you because you can bite him. And then now when you break up with you. So please, speak to him.
Or eat plenty bones for calcium.
Charlie, listen. I mean,
Also, there's technique.
Yeah, there's also technique.
matters.
Relax your jaw.
But we're out of time, and we don't have time to show people.
Relax
how to,
their jaw.
They should relax the jaw.
Yeah.
So the safe word again is what?
Pineapple.
On that pineapple note, we shall end today's show. Thank you so much for watching and listening. And of course, a big thank you to our sponsors as well. Vodafone, Together We Can, Onga, Mama's Helping Hand, Geisha African Strength, and Kel Kids Toothpaste. They give us happy smiles all the time. Thank you so much, ladies, for your time as well.
Thank you for having us.
Pineapple. You said?
Pineapple.
Okay.
Pineapple.
All right, my name is
Pineapple.
Jessica.
I'm thinking of one.
Thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye for now.